Hi guys, so today I'm going to be filming another perfume video for you. Today I'm basically going to be doing, because I've done a skincare 2017 favourites for the entire year, I'm also planning to do a makeup one. Today I wanted to film my perfume one. So this isn't going to be like 2017 releases, this is just going to be basically my personal favourite fragrances and what I wore the most throughout 2017, like basically just kind of like my personalized 2017 favorite fragrances of the year. So I do have quite a few here, and I also want to say, if I've mentioned other fragrances in videos and I've said how much I love them but they're not in this video, it doesn't mean that I don't love them. I'm basically, you guys know this already, I'm basically just going to be talking about the ones that I definitely just like have a really strong passion for and I love the most and I wore the most throughout 2017. And I also want to say, guys, that in this video you'll see repeats. Like, I would have talked about most of these fragrances already on my channel, so don't get upset about that because I am so excited to tell you guys. I'm going to be kicking you so many more perfume videos in 2018 because I am going to be partnering up with a few different stores and online websites as well to be able to like show you guys more fragrances, because fragrances are expensive. So this is a very long introduction, but I'm going to be partnering with a store that's going to lend me some of the perfumes to talk about to you guys so that I don't have to buy them because perfume is expensive, but I'm going to be able to show you guys more of a variety, so that's going to be super exciting. I'm also going to be filming my entire perfume collection very soon. Also, please follow me on Instagram. It is at demi.rawling and my Snapchat is demirawling. I'm so excited. Like, I definitely want to film. I am going to be filming a lot more perfume videos in 2018. I was actually thinking of doing like Fragrance Friday every Friday, so you'll get one perfume video a week, just because I do really love perfumes and my perfume videos actually do really well. Like, and I love you guys. Like, honestly, I never say that, but the community of the perfume videos are so nice and so genuine, and everyone is so passionate about fragrance and everyone is so helpful. Like, in my best fall perfumes for women, that video, you guys came through. You recommended me so many summer fragrances. I've already bought one, the Estee Lauder Bronze Goddess, and I love it. You guys know me so well. And there's just been so many perfumes that you guys recommended that I've got on my list. I ordered Dolce Gabbana L'Imperatrice because so many of you guys like recommended it, and I just like, I trust you guys, you trust me. Like, I love the community of the perfume industry, so thank you guys so much for being so supportive. Let's get into today's video. I'm rambling now, but I'm just gonna grab the first one that's here. So this one is one that I always go back to in the summertime, and in Australia I'm in summer, so I've been wearing this so much. I'm literally right down to the bottom of this, and I am going to go ahead and get Light Blue Intense shortly. So basically this is Dolce Gabbana Light Blue. This is, in my opinion, this is the ultimate summer fragrance. Apparently the Intense version is actually better and it lasts a lot longer, so maybe if you're gonna, like, if I'm recommending this to you, maybe go for the Intense version. I love this. I feel like there is two different types of people. I feel like there's a 50-50, the people that absolutely adore it and love it like me, and then there's the people that hate it and say that it smells like cat pee and it's just like really bad. Me personally, I adore this fragrance, and I always get complimented on the way that I smell whenever I wear this. It does last a very long time on my skin personally. I feel like longevity is something that changes with different people. I mean, if there's a monstrous fragrance, it's going to be monstrous on everyone, but like fragrances like this, I'm not really sure what I've heard about the longevity of this, but it does personally last a long time on me. This has lemon in it. It's like a beautiful citrus fragrance, and I do really like citrus fragrances. The only fragrances that I tend to steer away from are like really floral fragrances. Like, I will wear florals, but they have to be like mixed in the right way. I love citrus fragrances though. Like, I love really fresh smelling fragrances too. This is my favorite one for sure. It's got lemon, it's got apple, I'm pretty sure it's got ambroxan in it as well. I just really love this fragrance, and I love the way that it sits on my skin. Once that you let it kind of like sit into your skin, or like when it mixes in with the warmth, it just ends up smelling so beautiful. I've worn this so much already, like this summer, and it is definitely my go-to summer fragrance. Light Blue by Dolce & Gabbana definitely is a favorite of mine, a personal favorite. And always for the summertime. I never wear this in the winter. I always wear it in the summer daytime. So I love this. Going hand in hand with Dolce Gabbana Light Blue, this is Juliette Has A Gun, I said that really weird. Juliette Has A Gun, Not A Perfume. So basically, this is a very, very, very unusual like scent, as in, it's weird. Like, this is one fragrance note. This is just ambroxan. I actually got sold this to me when I went into the Scent Shop, which is my favorite store to go into. It is like an Australian store. They are like hands down the best. Like, they're better than department stores. They're better than anywhere that I've ever shopped for perfume. The people there have always been so nice to me. And anyway, I'm getting on a tangent. There's a guy in there called Ben, and one day, like when I was looking in there, he was like, "Oh, smell this perfume," and I was like, "Okay, of course." And I smelled it, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Like, I wasn't even in the market to buy a perfume like this. I'm pretty sure it was like winter time. I'm pretty sure like it was just like, it was very unusual for me to just randomly buy it, but he showed it to me, he sprayed it on my skin, and I fell in love with it. This is just one fragrance note, and I think that's why it's called Not A Perfume, because it's like, usually when you create a perfume, you guys obviously know, you kind of like, they combine different sort of notes to create like a beautiful scent. This has one note and it's ambroxan, and it just smells like, this is the most clean, crisp, beautiful scent that I've ever smelled. It just smells perfect. If I could like, was just born and you could pick one scent to wear for your entire life, I would like to smell like this, just because it is so inoffensive. It's not going to project. This does not last a long time, so keep this in mind. This doesn't last a long time. It literally lasts like about 2 hours on me, maybe 2-3 hours roughly. So it doesn't last a long time, it doesn't project into the room, but in my opinion, it just smells like beautiful and perfect. And whenever I kind of like don't know what perfume to wear, I'll always spray this on me. I wear this in the daytime, and I do like to top it up just because I do like, it does go away so quickly, but I have been complimented on it. My sister is obsessed with this. Every time I put it on, like I just spray it on and I'll kind of like walk past her, she'll be like, "Oh my god, you're wearing that perfume again. Oh my god," like it just smells so good. My mum loves this. Every single person that I've been with in a close environment and I've been wearing this, they've complimented me, like in a car, sitting next to them on a chair, giving them a hug. Like, I've been complimented because it is this like very, I know it's a weird thing to say, but it's a very intoxicating scent. Like, it's just this, like, I want to keep smelling it. It's just so beautiful. And yeah, so definitely I actually think that these are so similar. Juliette Has A Gun is like light blue, but without all of the additives in there. So it doesn't smell like lemon or apple or all these kind of like edges to it. It's just this beautiful, it's like light blue without all the additives. So if you don't like light blue and it didn't work for you, maybe try Juliette Has A Gun, because it is absolutely beautiful. Okay, so I'm not actually going in any particular order. I'm kind of just grabbing different ones. So the next fragrance that I wore so much throughout 2017 was Dolce Gabbana The One. Now, I have actually, obviously I've spoken about this already on my channel, but I was surprised when I first got this. I got it because of Charles Gross here on YouTube, and he like totally influenced me to get it. Like, it was definitely a scent that I never would have gone to before. I got it, I sprayed it on me, and it was like love at first use. Like, I was actually surprised because when I looked up the notes in this, like the first time that I tried it, it was something that I usually would never have gone for, but it is such a beautiful scent, and you guys agree with me because I've seen some of the comments about this. It is a pretty underrated fragrance. This scent is so beautiful, and like I said, I totally didn't think that it would be something that I would be interested in. What I really smell in here, I definitely get the vanilla because it does have vanilla in this. It also has like a peach, and like I'm pretty sure there's lychee in here, and I also like, as it's like developing throughout the day, I smell like a little bit of a white floral in there. I'm pretty sure it's lily that's in here. And it's just beautiful. Like, that's what I noticed. Like, throughout the day, it kind of changes. Like, I'll smell a bit of vanilla, then I'll smell the peach, then I'll smell the lily, like later on in the day. I didn't think that I would like this at all. Like I said, I'm usually, you guys know what my style is. Like, I like that sweet, juicy, head turner fragrances. So I didn't think that I would like this one as much, but I absolutely adore it. I wear this like now as well. Like, I actually thought that I probably would wear this only in the winter and I'd kind of change my fragrances throughout the summer. But I've been wearing this recently. Like, I still want to spray it on me in the daytime just because I love the way that it smells. It is a beautiful fragrance. It's not a head turner. It's not going to project into the room. It's not going to, like, the sillage isn't like massive on this at all. This is a fragrance that sits extremely close to the skin, but it sits so beautifully on the skin. Like, the way that it develops is just absolutely beautiful. And for me, this lasts a very long time. It probably lasts about 6 hours on my skin. I think that's quite good, especially for such, like, the fragrance notes are quite kind of light. It is a very warm fragrance. Like, whenever I smell this, I just think, like, it smells warm. Like, there's something about it that it just smells very warm. That's why I thought I would wear it mostly in the winter, but I have been wearing it now. So there you go. I feel like this is a great signature scent for somebody. It's a great all year round fragrance. Day, probably wouldn't wear this at night, but yeah, I definitely think that it's a great daytime fragrance for everyone if you do like a more sweet kind of warm fragrance. I am obsessed with Dolce Gabbana, the one. I didn't think that I would be, but I am. I also love the male version of this, Dolce Gabbana, the one for the guys. Oh, that is so good. That is so good. Okay, let's move on. And I've already spoken about, like, I don't have to say that so many times, but I feel bad, like, re-showing all of these fragrances, but I'm just being honest with you guys. I could go and grab like a bunch of new fragrances and be like, these are all my favorites, but honestly, I'm just showing you what were my favorites for this year. Armani Code Satin. I love this. And I said in my other video that it isn't my personal favorite because it's not my personal favorite, but every single time I wear this, I get so many compliments. Like, this is a major compliment getter. I have had so many boys tell me that like I smell incredible when I'm wearing Code Satin. This is probably one of the most appealing to men. I have like one friend and he was just like, he would not stop complimenting me when I wore this. So girls, like, definitely I think that this is the perfect fragrance for a date. If you're having like a very like intimate kind of night with a guy and you want the perfect smell, scent, whatever you want to call it, I would go for Code Satin. Oh, it's so beautiful. This has vanilla and praline and cacao. Like, it's a very warm and cozy fragrance. I am obsessed with this, and honestly, like, trust me, this is probably the #1 fragrance for a date. Anything to do with like a girl or a guy or an intimate encounter, I would go for Code Satin by Giorgio Armani. And I also have to quickly say that this lasts forever. Like, this fragrance lasts so long, you guys. This is actually a funny story. My mum was like washing one of my tops and she was like, Demi, I can't get the smell of this perfume out of your top. Like, that's how much like this fragrance lasts so long. Like, I'll spray it on me, let's say at night, and I'll wake up smelling like Giorgio Armani Code Satin. Even if I've had a shower, like, I still can smell it when I wake up. Like, it's insane. The like longevity of this fragrance, the performance is absolutely monstrous. Okay, so the next fragrance that I'm going to talk about is Lancome Vie Est Belle. Again, I've talked about this one already on my channel. I wore this a lot this year. I wore this mostly in the winter time. This is definitely a fragrance that I only really wore throughout the winter. I don't know, some people really don't like this fragrance. Like, some people get a little bit touchy about this and they really hate it because it's very just like a standard sweet perfume. Some people think it's not great. I think it's actually a fabulous fragrance because of the longevity of it. It's a very powerful sweet fragrance. I must say that this is a very sweet perfume, so definitely if you don't like sweet perfumes, don't even go near this, because it is a little bit like, I feel as though it's a little bit headache inducing. And even for me, like, I love, you guys know this already, I love my sweet fragrances, I love my gourmands, but for me, if I spray too much of this, it's instantly a headache inducing fragrance. Some of the notes in here that I can really smell is the praline, the vanilla. It's also got like tonka bean in, which I smell like later on. It is a beautiful fragrance, like, I can't say it's not. It's definitely something that I like to wear, but again, I feel like this is extremely popular. I feel like this and Giorgio Armani C are two of the most like popular women's perfumes in my opinion. I smell a lot of girls wearing Vie Est Belle and I always compliment them because I think that it smells absolutely to die for. Like, whenever I like go somewhere and I can smell Vie Est Belle straight away, I will always compliment them because it does smell like really beautiful and it is a very long lasting beautiful perfume. The only thing, I've said this before, I hate the bottle. I think it totally doesn't match what the fragrance is. because I think this looks very old-fashioned kind of bottle. Anyway, the next fragrance that I was totally just like wore it throughout the entire of 2017 was Agent Provocateur Fatale Intense. Now, some of you guys have bought this because of me, and it makes me so happy when you guys comment that, because like I feel so like touched that, not touched, but I feel so happy that you guys trust me enough to just blind buy a perfume. I mean, I don't even know if I would do that. I personally like to wear this fragrance at night. The only thing that I have to say is this fragrance does not last long. Like that's the only thing that ruins this fragrance, is its longevity. I feel like it only lasts about 4 hours, and then I start to notice that I can't smell my perfume anymore. It is a really beautiful fragrance, and every time I put it on, I get so many compliments. It's one of those fragrances that it just has this mysterious feel to it. All the notes in there are absolutely crazy, but it doesn't, like I said this in my other video as well, it doesn't kind of like, the scent that you get in the end doesn't smell like the notes look. Like it's got leather and chili pepper and vanilla and dewberry and like all these kind of weird notes, but when it's all mixed together, it just turns into this beautiful, sweet, mysterious fragrance. This isn't a great clubbing fragrance. Even though I have worn this clubbing a few times, I definitely noticed that I couldn't smell it at the end of the night. It is such a beautiful fragrance. I would suggest you guys to wear this on a date. If you have a husband or a wife or whatever, I would suggest to wear this, like, because it's got this like very sensual feel to it, very mysterious. So this is definitely, I've said this before, one of my personal favorites, and I wear this like all year. I just don't wear this in the daytime just because I feel like it's a little bit, I don't know, it's not something, I don't know how people kind of decide when they're gonna wear a fragrance, but me personally, I don't like to wear this one in the day, but I do like wearing it at night. So that is Agent Provocateur Fatale Intense. It is an incredible fragrance. The only thing is the longevity is not great on this fragrance. Okay, so the next fragrance that I wore a lot throughout 2017 is Carolina Herrera Good Girl. Now, I know for a fact that people either love this fragrance like me or they absolutely hate it. And I am definitely somebody that thinks that this is such a beautiful fragrance. Like I said, I personally love this fragrance and I have had really great experiences when I've worn it. I get so many compliments, you guys, especially from guys. I've worn this clubbing, I've worn this on a date, I've worn this to dinner, like I have worn this and it does get a lot of compliments. Some of the notes that I really smell in here is the tonka bean, there's also cacao, there's jasmine, there's like a really nice kind of mixture of notes. And I have to say this, but I hope it doesn't kind of make the fragrance sound bad. It's got a tiny bit of a masculine vibe to it. Like none of my fragrances really do, in my opinion. This one, I kind of sometimes, when I smell it, I get a tiny bit of a masculine vibe. Maybe that's why people don't like it. I'm not really sure, but I think that it is the most beautiful fragrance. And I was actually in the scent shop. I can't remember what I was doing there. I'm always in there. And there was a guy and he was picking up Good Girl for his girlfriend, obviously. It is such a beautiful fragrance. It's very, very sexy. Like I feel like this is a very power woman, nighttime, black dress, red lip, very sensual fragrance. That is Carolina Herrera Good Girl. Okay, so I have two fragrances as my most incredible, most worn favorite perfumes for 2017. I'm gonna hold them up at the same time so you guys can see. So on here, we obviously have Lancome We Treasure, and I am so happy that so many of you guys trusted me and blind bought this, and most of you, I think all of you, because I haven't had somebody say that they hated it yet, but all of you have been like fallen in love with it just like I did. It is incredible. So the other one that I have here is Mon Guerlain. So let's talk about Lancome We Treasure first. Obviously, I've talked about this so many times, I'm not going to do anything too long, but this, in my opinion, is a masterpiece. Like, in my opinion, this is an absolute masterpiece. The notes in here, there is a massive amount of notes in this fragrance, but to me, it just makes this, I'm like intoxicated immediately when I smell this fragrance. It is so sexy. It's such a head turner. It smells like caramel, yummy, like you just want to eat the person that's wearing this. I actually have seen some of you guys wear this in the daytime. Good for you. Like that is great. I don't wear it in the daytime just because I feel like it's a little bit too much for me personally. I've worn this to a festival and it's lasted, like every time I go to a festival, I'll chuck on Lancome We Treasure because it's so reliable. This will last all day. At a festival, you're sweating, you're getting dirty, you're in the grass, you're in a mosh pit. and this lasts all day. Like, this is an absolute monstrous fragrance when it comes to performance. In my opinion, nothing can beat this. The notes are so crazy. Like, there's a very, very, very long list of notes in here. There's coffee, there's praline, there's vanilla, there's lychee, there's strawberry, like there's incense, there's all this crazy stuff, but it just smells like this beautiful, sweet, very, very, very sexy. Every time I've worn this, guys go absolutely cuckoo cuckoo for this fragrance. That is Lancome We Treasure. This is my definite go-to nighttime clubbing date, like all of that sort of stuff. For the night, me personally, this is the ultimate. If I could only choose one fragrance, it'd be either one of these. So let's go ahead and talk about Mon Guerlain, because this I actually got towards the end of the year. I can't actually remember when I got it. I think it was like around October maybe. I was blown away, you guys, immediately when I tried Mon Guerlain. I got this because of Jeremy Fragrance, and I'm sure if you're watching my video, you know Jeremy Fragrance or you've stumbled across his videos. He basically said that the perfect woman would wear Mon Guerlain, and I was like, yep. When I first spray this on myself, I get a huge, like a massive hit of the lavender, and it's kind of just like, oh my god. And then immediately it starts to warm up into my skin, and I get the vanilla, the tonka bean, and in the day it just like warms up and it just creates this beautiful, sweet but not overly sweet. It's definitely not like a really gourmand fragrance. It's not like that. It's the most beautiful scent ever. And if I could choose to be and wear one fragrance for the rest of my life, it probably would be Mon Guerlain or Treasure. These are two, like these two sit very close together. I definitely have a special place in my heart for Treasure, but this is definitely like my nighttime, my daytime. My nighttime, my daytime. I kind of thought that it was like a bit of hype and stuff, but then I actually sprayed it on myself and I felt it all, and it's just beautiful. And every time I've worn this and I've worn it around guys or a guy, whatever, they have been very much like, wow, you smell beautiful. So it is the most beautiful scent, and that's probably a great word to describe it. It's beauty, it's womanly, it's classy, it's elegant, it's sexy, but in a more subtle way. It's not as like a powerful head turner. I will say that this doesn't last, like the longevity for this isn't too bad on me personally. Like I do get about 5 hours, 6 hours wear, maybe 6 hours out of this. I think that this is an all year round. I feel like this is a very great signature scent. Like this is the perfect woman scent. It is a signature scent, and I think that everybody needs to have Mon Guerlain in their collection just because of how it's perfect. So that is Mon Guerlain. It definitely was one of my favorite like fragrances that I discovered this year. It is just absolutely beautiful. Okay, so I hope that you guys enjoyed hearing about my favorite perfumes from 2017. Like I said, I have so many exciting perfume ideas in my head, and they're going to be able to like transpire now that I have kind of worked something out with a few stores and stuff, that I'm going to be able to lend the perfumes. I'm even going to start including some male fragrance videos, which is super exciting. So I am honestly so excited for 2018. I hope you guys are too. Again, I'm sorry if you got kind of annoyed that I keep repeating the same fragrances, but this was supposed to be my personal like favorite fragrances of 2017, so it would kind of be a lie if I just like randomly included different fragrances. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please follow me on Instagram. It is at demi.rawling, and my Snapchat is demirawling. I'm gonna go. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon.